I'm back. That's right. It's your host, Jessica Koch, and this is Profound Professionals. It is the interview series that has been bringing you over 1,000, can you believe it, industry experts from our whole wide world that help improve your personal life or grow your business. We have a guest back, and we've had that happen many, many times over the 9 years. Next year will be our 10-year anniversary. I can't wait. We have Elisa. Elisa is helping coaches launch their programs and events, and she does project management, and she has coaching expertise. She's an inspirational speaker, so if you'd like your audience to be inspired, you're going to want to book her. She's a published author. We'll talk about that later. And a launch strategist. You do need a plan. You need a strategy. You need a planner. You need someone to take that over for your life so you can go kayaking and paint and do all the things. You know, those are my things, but you have your own things. You get the drift. And she's a podcaster. So, podcasters, welcome, welcome, Elisa.
Thank you so much for having me, Jessica. Again, it's so happy to be here. And I'm glad that we get to speak on a different topic, which is just excites me so much.
Oh, super, super cool, because now we want to know, how did you transition? What made you twist the bubble a little, turn the knob? Give us the journey story that led you to be this launch planner, leader, strategist, specialist.
So in my corporate career, I was a project manager. So I've been a project manager in the industry for about 15 years. But when I launched my business, I was more of like a life coach, is what I kind of talked about in the last show. In October 2023, I quit my corporate job. And my business coach, James Lamb, that you also know, who was like, "What are you doing with those project management skills?" And I was like, "I don't know." He's like, "They are needed in this industry because like so many coaches, they're visionaries, or they're like have ideas people, or they're healers, or they just want to coach and they don't have much business experience, And I had 23 years in corporate and like 15 years in project management. He was like, this is a big gap that people have. And I even noticed it with, people in the programs that I'd done, that because I'm very much like a doer, get it done person. And so I would do everything in the program, but they would take 6 months to a year. And I think that part of it is, it can be so like when you're launching a program or even a book or a podcast or doing a summit or a giveaway or something, it can be super overwhelming. There's so many moving pieces, and some people, it can just be so hard to even get started. They don't know where to start. And I was like, oh, well, I've got a plan, because that's what I did with my, whenever I did any of my own launches, I meticulously planned them. And so I already had it listed out. And I was like, oh, well, this is something that I could share with people. And then it also kind of evolved where helping people who are starting to scale, starting to do those group programs, so maybe they've been in business for a year or two, but also working with established coaches who actually hire a project manager because they want to be out. They want to be out speaking and selling and filling their events and coaching, not necessarily worrying what their team is doing. So whether they have like one VA or like a team of people, I become that kind of middle person. So I strategize with them. I put together the plan, and then I get the team to make sure everybody's doing what they need to be doing in order to get it launched and get that event, perfect and ready all in time. So that was kind of this transition, was this idea. And actually, even Michelle Abraham, who's one of the co-hosts of Potapalooza, she had that idea too. She's like, I think that would be really good. So it was kind of something that was in my brain. And actually, it took me a little while to make the transition, because I was a little bit scarred from being a project manager in corporate. It was a bit of a toxic environment. And I was like, I don't want to bring that into my business. This is my baby, like I don't want any of that, and I really had to kind of do a lot of sort of personal work and journaling and meditating on it, being like, okay, no, this isn't like some Scrum process that I have to follow and get certified in. This is actually going to be my business, my launch process. I get to bring it in. I get to work with people and customize it. I really was like, okay, I can make it my own, and I get to choose who I work with. I get to choose how I run it. And so I was able to, kind of make that transition and be okay with it in my brain. And it's just been amazing ever since.
That is so, so awesome. I would love for you to share a little bit more about how they're working with you. I realize sometimes they're actually hiring you as a project manager, and you're
Yeah.
stepping in and helping take the steps. That's a brilliant. But are you also doing like some one-on-one coaching or group classes or group coaching or online courses? What are some of the other ways that you're getting this information? Because there's so many people who need it. I totally agree. We're all very brilliant, but
Yeah.
not everyone clings to the systems and processes as well as others, and
Yeah.
they really just need someone to guide that.
Yeah, yeah. So I do work with them. I was doing a lot more one-on-one because I feel like everybody's launch is so individual. But yeah, just recently I launched a program, more of like a group program where we would spend 6 weeks kind of getting everything ready for the launch. And so I would take them through being like, okay, I need the swipe copy for this, and I need to know your landing page things and the emails and things like that, and actually take it and I have a business partner and we set up the tech for them as well because I feel like that can be a big blocker with a lot of
Mm.
coaches, especially if they're kind of only in the first few years, or some people just hate the tech and they're like, I don't even want to deal with it. I don't want to think about it. Just do it for me. And so yeah, so that we would spend that 6 weeks to get all the information that we need and kind of and put that plan together. I would still do a custom plan for them. And then based on that plan, we would do the tech for them, like set up their landing pages, set up their email
That's
automations, things like
huge
that.
because that's what my whole VA team does for me and
Right.
some of our clients, and it's a lot. It's a
It's a
lot.
lot. Exactly. Yeah. And especially if you're doing an entire launch, like, it includes a lead magnet, but also an event that you're doing and the program itself. So like there's so many emails and landing pages and thank you pages and tags and automations, like it
Yeah,
goes with all of it. Yeah. And then after that was more of like a mastermind. So the group would get together and like, because everybody would be launching at different times, like how did it go? Where are you stuck? And then that's kind of where I would do like the kind of launch coaching.
that's really, really cool. So are you using Go High Level or what softwares are you using when you're working
We
through?
have a variety of ones. Yeah, we have about a list of, I think, about 10 different ones that we can support. But yeah, definitely go high level, system.io. I personally use Thrivecart and
Mhm.
MailChimp. I actually used to work for MailChimp when I was a program manager in the tech field. Yeah, so it's dear to my heart. I'm like, I'm going to keep on using it. But yeah, so we do lots of different tech
Yeah, I have
platforms.
system.io for some of my projects too. That's fascinating. Yeah. So, and I'm using a version of Go High Level. There's about a million white labeled versions of it, but yeah.
I've been thinking about switching. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm like debating. I'm like, do it because I got a process that's working pretty good right now, but I know that Go High Level has so much great stuff. So I don't know. What's your experience with it?
Well, the version I'm using, the owner and the developer team, I could you can't buy better support. Like I can book an appointment anytime, and they get jump on live with me. Like, and it's included, and I just can't say, and like the words won't come out. They're so amazing. I love. I would never switch. And I considered it only for the reason of getting my own white label because I could probably resell because we have the whole team and we have all the thing. I still won't leave. I can't. I don't want to do it because I could have an additional revenue stream and I still won't. I'd rather collaborate and work with this particular individual because it's just outstanding. So, yeah, talk to
Amazing.
me if you're thinking about some of that. So,
Okay.
what's the best way for someone to get with you and get involved in your programs or check it out or find you? Tell us how to find you.
Yeah, I think the best is on my website. So it's inspirationbyelisa.com. So one word, inspiration by, and then Elisa is ELISA.com. So that's my website. On there, you can check out my podcast, which is all about reshaping business with integrity. It's called Authentically Elisa. And also you can look at links if I have any workshops coming up that you can come to. Or also there's a link there to book a call with me if you wanted to chat about me helping you with your launch.
Which I totally would recommend. I already have an idea for a collaboration for us together. So,
Oh, amazing.
for you to give our audience a tip, can you give everybody a tip for today?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think we kind of touched on it a little bit, but I really think that a super effective way to like when you have a launch, you want to attract and convert the right leads, right? You want to be filling your events and having the right people into your program. So I really think that you got to put a strategy together, and I think having like a lead strategy is really important. So, and I think it's It's good because if you don't have an idea of what you're doing or what your goals are, you may not get anything done, right? Like, I don't know about you, but time's flying by so fast that sometimes if you don't kind of figure out what it is that you want in your year and what your goals are and how you're going to achieve them, you may not necessarily know how hard you need to push to make it happen. So, say if you want to launch and you know how many people you want in your program, that means you need to have a certain amount of people at your event. It means you need to have a certain amount of opt-ins, right? Like the conversions go. And so, if you're coming up to your event and you're like, oh, I need to have 100 opt-ins and I only have 50 so far, well, then what's the strategy? Yes, okay, I need to go on more speaking gigs. I need to get on podcasts. I need to, maybe do a pop-up webinar or something like that, or get on social media, do live. So, like, what is the strategy that you can use to get more leads? Because there's so many different ways that you can connect with people, right? It can be DMs, it can be texting, it can be email. And so I think that, yeah, having a lead strategy is something that's really important. Yeah, because I know that the first launch that I did, it didn't go as planned. And I had a very low show up rate. I did like 3 different workshops. And the first one, I think only a few people showed up, and then nobody showed up. Right. And I know it happens to many of us, and it's like devastating. You're just sitting there like, oh, I'm all by myself to even bother practicing. And at the end of the first launch, I didn't make any money. I didn't have enough people. I didn't have the right lead strategy.
Mm,
And I think that that's something in the industry right now that, having people actually show up to your event is a big problem. I hear this with my own coaches. I hear this with the events that I attend. I hear it with clients as well. And I even hear it in the masterminds that I'm in, that this is something that's going on, that conversion rate of getting people who signed up to showed up. I think it really significantly dropped in 2024.
mhm.
And of course, there's some exceptions, right? Like I know someone who had like an 80% show up rate. So we know that it's possible and that strategies do work. So I think having a lead strategy is something that's really important.
Yeah, we all want that strategy. What's the 80% show up strategy?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Since show number one, we've had all of our guests share with us a cause that's close to our heart. So you out there should be typing, putting it in the notes and in the comments and anywhere you're seeing our amazing podcast, wherever we posted it, make sure you put it in there because when you share, when others are kind enough to share, we're featuring some awareness about that great cause. We're helping do something good. We're sharing with someone who just might need it themselves or know someone who needs it. They also might inspire someone today to give time, treasure, or talent to the cause that you post and share. So, be a hero. Let's do it right now, today. That could be you. So, Elisa, what's a cause that's close to your heart?
It's the BC SPCA. So I'm in Vancouver, Canada. So the SPCA, I think, is like world renowned, but that we have the specific in BC. And it's really all about, taking care of our animals, whether they be, wild stock or all animals, actually, including dogs and cats and all that. It's actually quite amazing how much abuse there is out there. And so I like to
Love our kitty.
just yeah, yeah. So I like to support that charity. I donate to them monthly, and I love seeing all the amazing sort of rescue stories and how these animals, they get their forever home, and then you see them running around and they're all happy after having, such devastating trauma. So
I wasn't feeling well the other day, and my cat came and sat on my lap and started purring. And I said to my husband, I feel like her purring is healing me. I know that sounds crazy, but that energy and that vibration, I just suddenly felt so much better than I had felt all day long. So
yeah, 100%. She's right, giving you lots of love and that positive energy just
that's right.
vibrated right through. Yeah.
That's right. Those animals, they love us. We got to love them back. That's a great cause. Thank you for sharing it. All right, you're not done typing. You know what's next. You want to put the book that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business or the book you're an author of. Type those away. Get them in the chat. We want to see them. We want to see them in the comments. We want to post them everywhere. And when we feature our show, when we press it, share button and push it everywhere, we just might be featuring you. Elisa, talk about your book.
Yeah, so I wrote this book when I was doing my life coaching. I was a confidence coach and helping people really feel confident in themselves to do what they want in their lives. I know that's something that I've always done. I've been called brave. I was just like, I want to go travel the world. So I just did it, where a lot of people kind of hold themselves back. And so my book is called Change Your Life with Self-Confidence. And it's introducing the confidence method, which was my signature a 10-step system, which was like the word confidence. And as the book goes through, each chapter is like the first letter is C, which is the first step, and the second letter is O, and so on and so forth. And yeah, it's just really to help people figure out, what they actually want to do, what's true to them. If you were to block out all the noise and just actually really just go internal and figure out what is it that I really want, and then I go through the whole process to give you the confidence to go after it.
Well, I tell you what, it takes a lot of confidence to launch an event, a program, a book, or whatever. So I still say it's a fantastic book for you to grab and read as you work with Elisa and her program to get your stuff launched out into the world, your event, whatever it is you've got going on, something new that you're doing. You just might need someone to help you manage it or manage it for you or guide you through the process. And I think Elisa just might be your girl. So, it's been nice having you back. It's been so
Thank you so much.
fun. Did you have a good
It's
time?
Yeah, I had a great time. Thank you so much. There's always so much fun chatting with you. And I always see you in networking events, and I'm like, I love her energy. Thank you so much for having me back.
Well, I love my life, and I think that that's a big part of the secret of my success. I love me. I love my life. I'm grateful for my family and all the things that are going on in my world. So, it just makes me feel very joyful all the time. Uh,
Yeah.
So,
Amazing.
you out there, if you're thinking, wait, I can inspire someone's personal life, I can help someone grow their business, I've written books, I should be on this show and want to be featured too, well, reach out to us and our team and they'll tell you just how to get on. But before we go today, Elisa, I would love for you to share a final thought with us, a piece of information or inspiration as we go.
I would say, if you are launching something, whether that be a book or a podcast or a program or whatever, really take the time to set up your systems and do it early on, especially in your business. So you already have it and it really just kind of flows. And really just kind of give yourself that time, like really actually do it, give yourself that time, really just kind of let yourself sit down and think it through what that sort of system is and that process is, and then systematize it so you can be more efficient, which is one of my huge business values, because the more we can rinse and repeat things and have things like on automatically done, the more time we can have for ourselves and have that freedom that all us entrepreneurs want. And so, yeah, it'll give you that. So,
Yeah, well, I'd say do what she just said and then test, 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 and retest, right?
yes. Yes.
Test it and then test it again.
And have multiple people test too, because sometimes you miss something you don't realize.
Yes, because technology is oh so much fun, especially when it works, but it does need to work and you do need to test it. So
Mhm.
it's been a blast. I am your host, Jessica Koch, and this has been another Profound Professionals. And until next time, everybody, be kind to yourself out there and be kind to each other. Bye, everyone.